Tonight on Monday Night Football. You can watch all the action and eat 79-cent boneless wings like Nick and I did here this evening at Frickers in Fremont. Tuesday coming up at Frickers, it's 89-cent bone-in wings. Wednesday, $7.99 sirloin steak dinner. And Thursday, it's the $7.99 chicken chunks dinner here at Frickers in Fremont. High school basketball coaches show. Glad to be back after a little hiatus after football. And my first guest here tonight is going to be Eric Hoover, longtime head boys basketball coach for Old Fort. 14 years now. Eric, you've been the head boys basketball coach at Old Fort. Just one game so far, and it was lost to Colonel Crawford. We'll talk about all that, but 14 years. That's crazy at Old Fort.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but, I got a little started a little later, maybe than a lot of head coaches do. I did 9 years as a JV coach at Mohawk, so opportunity came open at Old Fort, and, I took it not knowing exactly how it was going to work. Teaching at a different school makes it difficult sometimes, but, I've got Coach Alsberger, a great assistant at the school, so, that's been very helpful. I wouldn't be able to probably even do it without him, so, and here we are 14 years later, and, I think we've done all right, and, I think, I enjoy it greatly, and, hopefully keep it rolling.
Well, you've won many SBC championships during that time, so obviously it's gone well. For those who don't know, you do still teach full-time at Mohawk, and you're the volleyball coach and the baseball coach there, and you dabble in basketball at your school at Old Fort. But you guys, just the one game. Why just one game so far?
Yeah, I mean, it was just our schedule. We just didn't have anything the opening week, I think we played Cary last year, and they wanted to move it to later in the year. They were anticipating football playoff scenarios and didn't want to play us right off the bat, and it got moved, and then we never found anybody to play the first week. So kind of crunched us in there, because then the OHSAA eliminated the last week of the season where we had games, so we had to move somebody from the last week, so we kind of got crunched out of 2 weeks there. But, it's
but yet football goes until last weekend.
Right.
I mean, not that the OHSAA, but just to prove a point, football just ended, and
Correct.
now we're shrinking the basketball season.
Yes,
so,
exactly. So
anyway,
we know what rules, I guess. But I mean, it was a long preseason, right? It was a long preseason leading up to it. If I had it to do over again, I'd probably schedule some later scrimmages than what I had, to be a little more, I think, game ready for that first game. But it gave us a lot of opportunities to work on a lot of things. We're a young group, and the practice time certainly did not hurt.
Well, Colonel Crawford, from what I read in the ball game, they used pretty much a three-pointer, right? Hit a lot of three-pointers in the ball game against you.
They did. They didn't make many in their first two games, so I was I don't want to say I was surprised. I mean, they're varsity basketball players, right? They were open, so they're gonna make shots. We didn't do a good enough job. Maybe that was we were a little not prepared for that part, and they had some guys make shots, and so we got down early because of that, and we just didn't handle their physicality. They're big, strong, kids that were able to play physical. Sometimes you're able to play physical, sometimes you're not, depending on how the game's being called, and they were, and we didn't handle it very well. So we got down early, and too big of a hole to come back from.
Eric Hoover is my guest, head boys basketball coach at Old Fort. Don't forget you can watch from Frickers in Fremont. I forgot to mention that, Nick. That's my fault. Nick's running our video here, so if you go to the Eagle 99 Facebook page, click on the link that's right there, boom, you'll be able to see Eric and I in our full beauty here at Frickers in Fremont, as well as listen on Eagle 99. So you get the game out of the way. Now you get St. Joe tomorrow night. Obviously, you've only had the one practice since, so what did you work on tonight in practice?
I think, we haven't, in scrimmages, honestly, you don't see a lot of zone. You see a lot of man early on. Everybody's working on their man-to-man defense. That's what you see a lot of. But I think we're probably going to see a lot of zone tomorrow. So that's something as I think things get eliminated throughout your practice plans as you're working on things in the preseason. One of the things that gets pushed aside a lot of times is zone offense. And that was kind of been the case. So we really had to cover a lot of that tonight, just to make sure we're prepared if that's what they're planning on doing. So, I think that was our main focus tonight, and cover some things that they do with their man-to-man. We didn't do a very good job being prepared for what Crawford was running. we covered it all, but we didn't in practice. We didn't put that
Right.
into the game. We didn't recognize things fast enough, so we needed to cover what we think St. Joe's going to do, so we can, we got to be able to defend certain actions that they're going to run on a regular basis. So more so us learning how to prepare for a game,
Right.
maybe, and being mentally ready to see what they're going to see and how we're going to defend it.
What's funny you should say that. Nick and I were watching a game last week. I won't say which one. And the team was running motion offense into a zone and kept getting stopped every time. And I'm like, Nick, they're running a motion offense against a zone. I don't think they have a zone offense.
Right.
It's what it seemed like to me. But what you're saying is early on in the year, you just don't have time to get all that in.
Yeah, it might get eliminated from practice plans as you're doing things.
Okay.
You put that off, and then
Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
This was not a varsity game. This
Right.
was like, Nick, was it JV or freshman? It was JV, so, okay. That makes sense,
Right.
more sense to me. So, all right, we are here at Frickers in Fremont. Old Fort boys basketball coach Eric Hoover is our guest. Also tonight, I want to mention we have Tony Egbert, the Gibsonburg boys basketball coach, coming up at 7:15. Aaron Foose, the Lakota girls coach, and then we'll finish up with John Cahill. So, like I said, you got St. Joe tomorrow night. You're working on that zone offense. As I look at your roster, 3 seniors, that's it. Well, no, 4. So Brock Miller's down there too. Well,
5,
hold
I
on.
believe. Should be 5.
There is. I
Yeah.
just can't count. Hillsdale math. 5 seniors, and the rest are juniors. So let's talk about the seniors and the ones coming back for you this year.
Sure. We have 5, 4 that have been in the program the whole time. Then one came back, hasn't played since his freshman year, but wanted to come be a part of the team this year. But Ryan Alsberger is our main returner from last year that got a lot of playing time. He missed 10 games with an injury last year, but had an outstanding year and also played as a sophomore. So shot the ball really well for us. And now, we graduated a lot. I lost, 5 from last year, and so now his role is different. He was able to just kind of benefit from penetration that we would get from some of the other guys to space the floor, and was able to, just kind of stand there and shoot a lot. And now he's got to handle the ball. He's got to run the point. He's got to be able to do everything for us. So, he's still, filling into that role. He's put a lot of time in, a lot of effort into, improving his skills and everything. So, he'll find his way. I have no doubt about that. And so he's going to have to do a lot for us. He's going to have to be a lot for us at both ends of the floor.
Okay.
Brock Miller is another returning letterman from last year, and he's, if we had a post, I'd say he's our post player. We kind of play, 5 out, everybody is a guard kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But if we had a post, he would be it. He's our our kind of beef, especially defensively, that has to go down there and battle with other big guys. He's good. All around skills. He can shoot it outside if necessary, and he just has played a lot of basketball in his life. He's the youngest of 4 brothers that that
Played
we've
a
had
lot
in the Millers, so, like every year at Old Fort. So
and 6'4" for
and he's got good size, right? So he does a good job for us, and plays so hard, and really just gets out there and battles and gives us a little more toughness and physicality than a lot of the other guys give. Griffin Miller is another one. It's his first year, varsity point guard. He'll run some point. He'll run some wing, depending on situational stuff. But a lot of experience, at the JV level, and has done really well. And I've really been happy with improvements that he's made since last year. And Tyson Frisch is another one, first year letter winner. Like I said, we had a lot of seniors that had success the last couple of years. So these guys they don't have experience at the varsity level. So it's going to take a little bit, I think, to find their footing as far as varsity players go, because the level is just different. The speed of the game is different, But he's a wing force, very athletic, jumps really well, very fast. So he's going to find ways to help us out defensively for sure. He can really, he moves very well. He's going to be able to help lock people down if necessary, and find ways to use that quickness to score. So, it's a good, solid group. They've put a lot of time in their effort, and what they've done over the last 4 years and being there has been great. So they just need to they're going to find ways here to to lead this rest of this group.
So for the Stockaders, when you have a group that, because normally you do have a lot of skill returning, and in the teams you've had in the past, so you have a group like this. Is the summer just totally different because you're working on, because not only you're working on skill, but you're also working on leadership and all these other things because these kids haven't really experienced that.
Yeah, their roles have just changed.
Right.
They just going to have a much bigger role than what they've had. So, it is going to take some time, and you can learn in the summer for sure, and there is that, but it's just a different game in the summer. A lot of teams don't have all their guys. The defense just is not what it's going to be during the season. I mean, they don't.
It's more offense.
There's no scouting reports.
Right.
People just don't play as hard.
Right.
So it is going to be a learning curve once the season hits. I think that was a really good game for us last Saturday. Probably what we needed, to get our butt whooped a little bit and
get the cobwebs out a little bit
and learn what it was going to be like to be at the varsity level. So, they're doing a good job, and I know they're gonna work hard at it, and they're gonna listen, and they're very coachable group. So.
Well, Eric, coming up this week, we talked about Fremont St. Joe tomorrow, and then obviously it's a double week for you. You'll have St. Mary's, but that'll actually be your first home game for Old Fort, and that's Friday night. So.
Yeah, it'd be great to be home. We've made some some adjustments in the gym, and got a new scoreboard and video board, and so we're gonna, spice things up a little bit, I guess, in the gym. It'd be nice to be home, and get that first home game in this weekend. So it's military night, I believe, for us there. I think the girls' military is Thursday night. They play. We play
I just have the
Friday,
varsity.
right?
Yeah,
Thursday.
usually it's a Thursday, Friday
so I
thing.
think they do one the night before, and then we do
then
one
you do
after.
Friday. Okay.
So it'll be honor some awesome people, and it'll be a fun night.
Anytime we honor veterans, that's a great night. And again, that'll be happening Friday night at Old Fort when the Stockaders take on Sandusky St. Mary's. Then next week you have a split. You're at Woodmore Thursday, and Danbury at home on Saturday, the 21st. So, well, Eric, best of luck this year, and we'll see you plenty of times on Eagle 99 and here at the Coach Show, but appreciate you coming out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, Old Fort basketball coach Eric Hoover. When we come back, Gibsonburg boys basketball coach Tony Egbert, as we're live here from Frickers in Fremont on Eagle 99. You took over for Coach Lisky when he retired,
Yep,
right? Okay.
exactly.
So
Yep.
how's it? I haven't ever gotten to talk to you, so just so people out there watching or listening, we've never talked before, so this is our first interview.
That's
So I
right.
kind of like to establish a base.
Yep.
So how have the last 3 years gone so far for you at Kipsenberg?
Pretty well, I think. It definitely was an adjustment period. There were, becoming the head coach. I was a JV coach for a few years, and there's just a lot of stuff, being the head coach that goes on behind the scenes that I don't know. You don't really have to deal with as a
Like
JV
stuff
coach.
like this?
Stuff like this. Exactly.
Yeah, like
No,
going to Frickers
no,
on a Monday
no,
night,
no,
eating
yeah.
some wings, and no.
Yep. Yeah, we never did the JV coaches show. That was, but
I wonder why.
no. But yeah, just a lot of things like that. It was definitely an adjustment period, but getting to follow Coach Lisky, and he's still a teacher in the building. I teach in the building, so it was a smooth transition. Kind of, he was always there to help out with some of those little things. And
Yeah, his first year after retirement, of course, he was on Eagle 99.
That's right. That's right.
And I
Yep.
actually did a couple games with him that
Okay,
year. So,
okay,
yeah,
nice.
I really, Coach Lisky, he's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
so you're off to a 2-0 start.
Yep, yep.
Wins over Northwood, 49-33, and over New Regal, 45-43. So, obviously, we'll start with the Northwood victory when you started back in November, but talk about that win first.
Yeah, that was a good one to get off on the right foot. They got us at their place last year by a bucket in a back-and-forth game, and we actually got off. You never know how the first game's going to go.
Oh, right.
You can scrimmage all you want, but once it's game night, it's a little different. And
Right.
Luckily, we've got some experienced guys that kind of jumped right out of the gates. We were up 32-6 at halftime.
Ooh.
So we
So
played.
what do you say at that point? Like, because kids are kids,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So what do you
And
talk
actually-
about at that point?
Just there's a standard we always want to play up to, and it doesn't matter who's on the other side. We want to control the things that we can control,
Right.
and there's always, as a coach, you always find something that you want to fix or you want to work
Right.
on, something you're not happy with, and there's a couple things that we let some things that we don't control kind of get in our heads a little bit. Maybe that first half that we needed to fix, and honestly, the second half of the game we struggled with some stuff, which we're not going to win every half 32-6.
Right.
We knew that. We knew that. We played really well, especially defensively. That got us some easy buckets, and
Okay.
but yeah, no, that was a good way to start the year for sure. So
Then, of course, the Golden Bears, 2-point win over New Regal, 45-43 to start conference play.
yeah, yep.
So, wow. You can't get any from, what was it, to 6 at halftime, 30, whatever,
Yeah.
6, and
Yep.
then you win by 2 in your second
a
game.
little bit
so-
of a nail biter.
Right.
Yeah,
Talk
yep.
about that with the win over New Regal.
Yeah, Coach Losey does a good job at New Regal. They've got some athletic kids, and there's a couple schools in the league that if they don't have football, so those kids they're chomping at the bit once
Right.
basketball season comes around. And yeah, we were up. I think we went up 10 early in the third quarter, and there were a couple things, just bounces didn't go our way and some things like that, and we actually were down 2 with like 40 seconds to go.
Ooh.
Got a big bucket and one with 40 seconds to go, and got a couple stops to seal it. So that was definitely a good one. Obviously, league play. Start off on that note, and
As a coach, when you're down 2 with 40 seconds,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, you're in that timeout, and you're like, come on, guys, we got to do this. But
Yep.
you can do it for them. I mean, you
Right,
have to
yeah.
draw up the play, and you have to hope that your coaching is going to take hold in that moment.
Yep.
But how proud were you that they executed and
so
went on to win?
very proud. It's cool. Just seeing how fired up the kids get for each other. It was one of our seniors, Camden Mooney, got the big bucket, but just he got fired up, obviously. But seeing the reaction from his teammates was super cool. Everyone was jacked up, and yeah, it's cool. We practice situations like that, and a lot of times the situations we practice don't actually happen in games, and that was one of those where we've practiced that situation 10 times already in the first month of
Right.
of practice. So,
That's awesome.
yep.
Well, you, of course, will have Calvert then tomorrow night and Hopewell on Friday. When you're in a league like the SBC and you play so many conference games, it's like conference.
It's crazy.
So
Yep.
it is crazy
Yep.
because the River has so many teams in it.
Yep.
How many non-conference games
We
do
have
you?
4. We
That's
had 4.
crazy. Out of
Yep.
22,
Yep.
you have 4.
Yep.
If you were in the 20 game, you'd only have the 2.
It's
That's
cra-
crazy.
Yep.
So those opportunities don't come along very often, like the Northwood game. So
Mhm.
I see you play Edison
Yep.
And that won't be. It will be a crossover game, but not count.
Correct.
Mohawk?
Elmwood and Mohawk. Yep.
No, see, I was going to get them all. See, and you
I'm
cheated.
sorry, I'm sorry.
No,
Yep.
that's okay.
Yep.
I would have got the last one too. So
I knew you would have.
I know.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the Gibsonburg Golden Bears as we're talking with third-year head coach. Is that right? Third year.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's been retired 3 years now. Okay.
Yep.
Head coach Tony Egbert, and let's start with your seniors. That's always a good place to start.
Yeah. Camden Mooney is one of our starting guards. So this will be his third year. He was our sixth man last year, but he was basically a sixth starter with the minutes he played. He's started 40-plus games in his career. He was our quarterback on the football team, so he's one of our vocal leaders. He's a pretty versatile kid. He can handle it for us. He can finish inside pretty well. So obviously having someone like him on the team, that's kind of like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, especially a point guard, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yep. Two other seniors. We got Grant Dawson. This is his first year full-time as a varsity player. He's just Grant's a very good defender. He's just a very good athlete. He's only 6'1", but I think he high jumps 6'1".
Really?
6'2", something like that. He went to regionals last year. He's just bouncy, and he's a strong kid. He can guard inside. He can guard outside. It's just nice having an athlete like that on the team.
I bet it's nice to have one of these athletes playing basketball.
Yes.
And not wrestling.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Because he just does some things athletically that are we don't
so
have a lot
many
of
of your
kids that can.
really good football players at Gibsonburg were actually wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Yep. Then our third senior, Santino Hay. This is his second year playing organized basketball.
Really? Where do you, is he new to the school or just?
He moved in, I believe it was his sophomore year at the end of the year.
Okay.
And then, kind of just came to us and wanted to be, part of the basketball program. And, man, he's come a long way, too. He was pretty raw at the start, but he's a good kid. He listens well.
And Tony, at a small school, that stuff happens. But if, say you were at a Division III school, kid comes to you, they're not going to see any, they're going to be maybe on your JV and just down there, but you know what I mean? That's wonderful. You get to the
definitely.
Yeah. So any of your juniors or sophomores then have had playing time previously?
Yeah.
Prior to this year?
Two other guards, Reese Walby and Aiden Morant, have both. Reese was first team All-League last year as a freshman. Aiden has started 40-plus games for me, and he's only a junior. So, having those two plus Camden in the backcourt, when you have good guards, it makes coaches look a lot better. And, I mean, having those three with their experiences, it's huge. And Reese actually, I just saw this as I was walking in. He was named first team All-Ohio defensive back.
Really? For the
which
football,
is pretty cool.
That's
so,
awesome.
But
you alluded to the success. Obviously, the football program's had success, but it's so nice that hasn't dropped off, that these kids have continued on the gridiron the success as well.
Yeah.
That a lot of their fathers
yes.
started.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've always found Gibsonburg to be a wonderful place when I came to Fremont. It's just it's a really neat community, and I've always felt very welcomed when I'm there, And I've done a lot of Gibsonburg football games over the years, and
got to stop and get some bakery donuts, right?
Yeah, got to get some donuts. Usually Joe did all the basketball games, so I never did a lot of basketball, but I just love Gibsonburg, and Tony, obviously you do too, or you wouldn't have taken a head coaching job there. So it's just a nice place, special place. So when you look at the conference this year, who's the alpha males in the conference?
I think it's going to be a lot of the usual suspects. Old Fort is always going to be very skilled and can really score it well. They throw a lot of pressure defense at you, so they're going to be at the top. Calvert and Hopewell, I think, are always going to be there. Just
same suspects.
Yeah. Yep. I really think it is. I know last year the league was pretty senior heavy, so some of those teams lost some key guys.
Well,
but
and Coach Hoover was on obviously before you, and he was talking about having new players, and you're talking about seniors who some are new to the program. So obviously a lot of teams lost a lot last year. So
but
and your best player was coming back is a sophomore. So
but no, there's really good coaches, really good players. I mean, every night in the league, and it's going to be tough.
You
this
got to
week,
bring it.
Yeah, we got to go to Calvert and Hopewell this
Man.
week, which is going to be it's going to be tough. We're going to find out what we're made of. Which
And you're
we're
on the
excited.
road.
Yeah,
Because you had both
Not-
home games last week.
Yep.
So. And then you go to Edison before Christmas. My gosh.
Yep.
And
It's
then finally home for Lakota on the 19th. So
Yep.
you have one home game between now and Christmas.
Yep,
So
the Edison, that's a fun road trip on a weeknight from
Yeah,
Gibsonburg. That's,
on a Tuesday.
Yep.
And the kids are probably in.
I think
Are
they
they
have
in midterms
I think
at
they
that
have
point?
exams the next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that'll be fun for you.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, I don't have to take the exams.
I
they
know,
do.
I know.
No,
They
yeah,
do.
yep,
So,
yep.
yeah, but you have to allow them to do that,
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
as their coach. So,
Yep,
well,
yep.
Tony, it's been really nice to get to know
Yeah.
you for the first time, and
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get to talk to you down the road here. But what are your hopes as we wrap up for Gibsonburg this year? Do you have goals? And
Our goal, we just want to have a say in who wins the league.
Okay.
Whether that's us winning it, whether that's us knocking somebody off in late January, early February to
Okay.
maybe ruin somebody's season.
Sounds good to me.
We just want to compete every night, and we know we're gonna have to bring it. Like we said already, it's a tough league. There's no
We got 18 games, so
yep.
no nights off in this league. So.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
Tony. Congratulations on a
All
good
right.
start, and keep it going, okay?
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, Tony Egbert, head coach of the Gibsonburg Golden Bear basketball team. When we come back, Aaron Foose, the head coach of Lakota, here on Eagle 99, live from Frickers in Fremont. And welcome back into Frickers in Fremont on this 79-cent boneless wing night. We're live here on Eagle 99. We're also video streaming on the Eagle 99 Facebook page. Just go to Eagle 99's Facebook page, click on the link, and you'll see us live from Frickers. We're talking to Aaron Foose, Lakota girls basketball coach, and then we'll finish off with John Cahill, the Ross boys coach. So, Aaron, you're off to a 1-3 start this year for the Lakota girls in your fourth season, you told me. So, just give me some what your expectations are for the girls heading into the year, and then we'll talk about how the season's gone so far.
Sure. We have been very successful the last 3 years, but we've also graduated about 35 points a game. So
That's a lot.
yes, yes. So expectations are a little bit less. I still want to compete and give it all I have, and coach the girls as best I can. But realistically, I would say we'll be maybe third, fourth in the league.
Okay. So a lot of inexperience.
A lot of inexperience, a lot of we need some help with ball pressure. So
Okay. Well, in your 4 games, you played Elmwood, and you defeated them 50-49. So I think that was your first game, right? That was
Yeah,
you started off with a 1-point win.
Yes, we actually were down by 16 in the first half.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
so
Wow.
my girls really did well, staying mentally strong and coming back with that. We just have not found that since. So,
So you
but
found,
we're gonna get there.
For half. You found what you were looking
Yes,
for, right?
absolutely,
But now
absolutely.
you know it's there.
Yes.
You just got to find it again.
And we are showing spurts of that.
Okay.
The girls, I keep talking to them about consistency. We'll play one really good quarter, and then we'll have a quarter where we only score 1 point. Or we have, 7 possessions in a row where we have turnovers. And I'm like, okay, girls, we can't let that happen. So it's just getting them to be consistent with it.
It's not just them, though. I watch lots of college basketball, and the team might
yeah. Oh,
never
yeah.
miss a shot in the first half, and then
Yes.
they can't hit one, and you're like, come on now.
Exactly. Well, and that's what happened to us at Woodmore. We were up by 13 on Woodmore, and then next thing you know, came out and they applied more pressure and they went on a run, and then we went cold and they shot 60-some% the rest of the game.
Oh my.
So it's like, I mean, could we have done things better on
Right.
Woodmore? Yes, but they also caught fire. So it was like, okay, what do you do?
I was coaching a junior high girls team once, and we lost 80 something to 12.
Oh,
And actually, I thanked the coach. I kid you not. I thanked him for not running up the score. That's how good they were.
wow.
Like, because you can get in
Sure.
that situation.
Sure.
And I coached this little school that wasn't even. It was a little farm school, and I was playing 7th and 8th graders against his 8th graders. So it wasn't a fair fight to begin with.
Sure.
But my point is, he was very conscious of the fact that he was much, much better than we were.
Sure.
He let them play half the game, beat us up, and then it was.
Yes.
So
Yes.
at least there's that out there for people. So,
Right, right.
Yeah. But so you're up 14. And then the wheels just kind of fell off.
Yep, and that's where sometimes we need to get a leader on the court. It can't be me from the bench. Sometimes
Right.
someone out there has to be like, all right, they get one on an 8-0 run. Let's stop this. Let's go.
Right.
And we'll get there. We'll get there. I keep telling the girls, like, they have so much potential, and they're just not playing to their potential yet.
Right.
Which they'll get there.
They'll get there. And,
We're early in the season. A lot of
and-
basketball left.
and JV is not varsity, as we all know.
Correct. And I
Right.
do have, we only have 14 girls in the program, high school program this year, so I have a lot of girls. I only have 5 girls that don't play JV.
Okay.
Just to give the other girls, I want to play a full JV game, because
Right.
in our league, there is 5 teams that are only playing 2 quarters of JV.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the numbers are down, and one of them is only playing varsity, no JV.
Okay.
So I want my JV to get experience.
Yeah.
That's what we need. But sometimes when, after that first 5, I get into my bench a little bit, and sometimes they're okay, and then other times it's like, okay, well, you can tell they haven't had much varsity experience
Right.
yet. And we will get there.
Right.
We'll get there.
Well, you got to start building a house with a foundation, and that's
That's
what you're
right.
doing.
That's right.
So. And then you ended up losing to Woodmore 41-32, and your last game was with Danbury, and you fell 43-26, correct? So talk about the Danbury game a little bit.
Again, high pressure. They're super fast, and we tend to panic.
Okay.
Get the ball, even though we drill fake passing, we drill crab dribbling out of the trap. To do it in a game, that's another story.
It's just
But-
different, right?
right? And they are. There's not for lack of effort. And that's what I always tell them. I said, you give me the effort, and you keep giving me the effort. I promise you, your hard work will pay off.
So you're off to the 1-3 start, 0-2 in the SBC. Next up, what is your next game? Because I really is it
Thursday.
Gibsonburg?
Yeah, Thursday.
Okay, so
Gibsonburg.
and they're pretty good.
Yep. They got Ellie Everett. She's a rock star.
I remember when she was coming up, like I had left from like when she was in 8th grade, I believe, but I had heard
okay.
all about her.
Oh yeah. She's a real deal.
And I knew Bo from, from before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. She pulls up at the volleyball line.
Is she really that good? Wow. Just
The first 10 points of the Calvary game the other day were her 4-point play, and then 2 more threes from the volleyball line.
wow. So she's Caitlin Clark Jr. at this
100.
point? And she's only a junior right now, right?
Sophomore.
She's only a sophomore?
Sophomore.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we'll not talk
Yay.
about that. That's coming up
No,
Thursday.
she's a great player, and
Right.
I like Bo a lot. I have a lot of respect for him.
And Bo's been over there for about 4 or 5
He-
years then?
He came in right when I
When you
did.
came?
It might
Okay.
have been a year before. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just knew I had heard about his daughter was coming, and I'd
Oh,
heard
yeah,
about her.
yeah.
So let's talk about. So you don't obviously have a lot of experience back, but talk about some of the players who are giving you valuable minutes, and maybe some that are coming back from last year.
Yeah, we have 4 solid returning letter winners. Aubrey Vitt is my senior point guard. Riley King's a senior forward. Lexi Moon, she's a third-year letter winner. She's a junior. She's a shooting guard for me. And then Sophie Bomer. So those are my 4 solid ones. And then I have Riley Markle and Mo Morant, or Olivia Morant. We call her Mo.
Okay.
But they are my top 6, 7. So, and then my other one, my 7, 8, 9, they're ones that, hardly had any experience on the varsity court, but this year they're getting, 2 or 3 minutes,
Okay.
even 4 minutes a quarter, depending on how we are in foul trouble.
Wow.
So,
So they're getting right into the fire here.
yes.
And you were talking, you do have 2 freshmen and 3 sophomores,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously, I'm assuming most of those individuals are the ones you want to be getting JV minutes.
Correct. Yes.
Because you can't count on varsity minutes. So
Right. That's why I try so hard to get a full JV game, because I think that'll pay off years to come.
did you have you when you play non-conference? Have you had a problem with the JVs on that?
No, Elmwood had a full JV, and then Clyde has a full JV.
Okay.
We played them, and then Oak Harbor has a full JV.
Well, that's good.
He has like 26 or something.
I was about to say Woodmore, but they
Their
used
conference.
to not be.
Yes,
They are now,
yes.
but yes. So
And then Arcadia, they're our non-conference. He has a full.
Okay, good.
Full.
So
So,
they'll get-
they're going to get a lot.
okay.
They're going to get a lot.
Which school is not playing at all?
St. Mary's.
Really, that
they,
low
They only
numbers.
have 10.
Wow. I was going to guess. I wouldn't think it would be St. Joe because they usually have pretty good girls
So,
numbers.
no,
but
so
yeah.
St. Joe's 2 quarters.
They're 2 quarters. Okay.
And Old Fort's 2 quarters, which surprises the heck out of me.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
usually really, really strong in girls basketball.
They've had a traditional strong program.
Yes,
So
they're only 2 quarters. I think they only have 12 or 13. And then New Eagle. And then Bo and his crew, they only have 13, but they're playing full JV.
oh, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, is it just because our numbers are down in the schools? or what
John
is
and I
it?
were just talking about
Okay,
this.
that's what I wanna know.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like, I think a lot of girls are doing maybe just a one sport and being a one sport athlete. And then, basketball's a hard sport.
Yeah,
And
it
it's a long season. And unless you are brought up with it and have a passion for it, they're just like, I'm not playing.
Right.
They just don't want to play.
And if their true love is volleyball,
Right,
or
and then
softball.
they're gonna do travel, and
Right.
then and I try to work with my girls. Being a small school, you have to a little
you
bit.
have to.
Yeah, and I explain that to the parents, and all my parents are really good about that. And I don't mind them doing the other sports as long as it doesn't conflict. And if it does, then they know, okay, you have to make that up for me.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. And then I know with the whole last few years with college, it's, it seems like ladies basketball is getting bigger, but in this area, it doesn't seem like it is.
Nationally, and it'll be interesting this year now that Caitlin's not in college.
Correct.
But you have like the girl from UCL or USC, the one with the Juju, the one with the.
Yes, yes.
She seems to be very
Yes.
popular. What do you call that thing when it's
Bun? I don't know. High bun? Yeah.
But an Iowa, people still watch Iowa, I think.
Yeah.
But it'll
South
be
Carolina,
interesting.
South Carolina.
South Carolina, they're
Yeah,
always
they're
good.
always
that girl
good.
dunked the other day.
Yeah.
From South Carolina.
Ashley
so,
Watkins, yeah. Yep.
So I think the girls' game's strong,
Yeah, and-
especially nationally. But kids aren't
And
playing
and,
it. so.
and kids don't watch the game.
Right.
That is a lost
They watch
art.
clips, right?
They watch clips or highlights, and they don't really watch and learn and
It's all-
develop the IQ.
It's TikTok.
Oh yeah. That's
how you-
not entertaining to me.
No. I'm a building sub at Perkins. Is what I. When the kids are to have their phones, this is what you see.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Like they're not even reading anything. They just
Yeah,
scroll through everything.
it's
Like, what
not
do you
making them
do?
smarter.
No. That's when they are allowed to have them. By the
Yeah.
way, not most of the time they are not allowed to have them. Well, so this to me, in talking to you, Aaron, this is your biggest building block year, maybe since your first year.
Sure.
At Lakota?
Absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
that a strong
100%.
statement? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
And you seem to be also enjoying that as well.
Well, I can't coach the girls and tell them to rise up to the challenge if
Well,
I
that's
don't.
true. Right.
And a lot of these girls, they need basketball more than basketball needs them, and I want to be that strong foundation for them when they're going through high school years. So I can't give up on them. I promise them I'll never give up on them.
Well, you seem like a very nice person, Erin.
Oh,
and
thank you.
first time getting to meet you. And if John vouches for you, I don't know what that says about you, but I will say you're okay. So, no. Anyway, John vouches for you, but it seems like you're doing a great job at Lakota, and you just want to take this program all the way, right? That's the goal.
That would be nice. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but I'm willing to do it.
As long as the girls are, that's
Exactly.
That's what
Right.
it
Right.
takes,
Yeah, I
so.
can't want that more than they do.
Right. That it's impossible.
Nope.
So, well, I wish you luck. We said Gibsonburg Thursday, and then what
Yes.
else is coming up?
And then we
Erin?
have Hopewell on Saturday.
Okay, and
Yep.
is that
League. That's league.
No. Is that away or home? The
It's
Hopewell?
away.
Okay,
Away.
so both
At
those
home.
are away.
No, Gibsonburg's home.
Gibsonburg's home at
Yep.
Lakota, and Hopewell will be away on Saturday afternoon.
Correct.
Correct? Okay, we got it.
right.
All right. Anybody you want to shout out to, Erin, or anything like that? So,
Oh, I always shout out my husband. He
Okay.
he keeps things in line while
while you're out coaching. all the time?
right, really, yes.
Okay. Erin Foose, head girls basketball coach of the Lakota Lady Raiders, joining us here from Frickers in Fremont. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
So
Nice
nice
to meet
to get to know you.
Yeah, you too.
John Cahill, that guy, he'll be our next guest. Head coach of Fremont Ross. We're back after this from live from Frickers in Fremont. And welcome back into Frickers Fremont. Don't forget tonight, 79-cent boneless wings. Tomorrow is 89-cent bone-in wings. And then sirloin steak dinner Wednesdays for $7.99. Chicken chunk dinner Thursday for $7.99. We're going to wrap up our show tonight with John Cahill, head boys basketball coach of Fremont Ross. Don't forget, by the way, we have the Ross girls tomorrow night taking on Perrysburg. I think, Nick, you're going to win that game, right? Nick Roth will be doing it with our boys over there. And then Thursday, Nick and I will be at Clyde Bellevue boys. That'll be a fun one on the Wolf Thursday. And then Friday, Genoa at Oak Harbor on Eagle 99. All right, John, how you been, buddy?
Good, man. Good to see you.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
It's been
I
a
know.
while.
Team's back together.
It is. Well, 2/3 of it.
Well, he Logs. He could
He
be
stopped
listening.
by during football season twice, Nick. It was twice at least, yeah. To see me, not to be on the live stream. So.
Well, you guys are buddies, and he's probably hoping to hit you for a free steak or something on
Well,
Logs.
I think he wanted to the one time he wanted to rub it in that the Tigers were beating the Guards.
Gotcha.
But we ended up coming back and
Yeah,
beating them.
yes.
So, John, how many years has it been now at Fremont Ross?
I think this year's 6. That's a good question, though.
No, it's more than that.
7, then.
It's got to be 7. You came
Year before COVID, so whatever that would be.
at 2019.
Yeah.
And it's 2025 season. 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a while. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way. Obviously, you're a Ross guy. You went to Ross and ended up coaching at Clyde before coming over to Ross. But you're off to the 1-1 start this year. But you told me you really like this team. Why do you really like this team, John?
I think they just try to do things correctly. We're not, crazy experienced. We're not crazy anything, but they work hard every day. We just left practice. We went 5 to 7 tonight, and they give a good effort every day. They're good kids. Things that they're not good at, they try to improve upon, and it's really all you can ask.
Well, you split your opener. You had Bowling Green, nice win there, 63-36, and then fell to a pretty good Sylvania Northview team, 67-50. So talk about the opening win over Bowling Green. Kids getting their basketball legs under them.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of basketball guys, and so we had a good preseason.
How many kids
through
did
the
you
fall.
have that weren't football?
Oh, that's a good question. Over half.
Really?
Yeah, we have
and
a
that's
lot
kind of a new thing, right? At least.
Yeah, I mean, in Fremont especially.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of guys that just hoop, and so
That's good.
they're they play a lot of basketball, and so we came out and we felt pretty good. Bowling Green's rebuilding a little bit, and we are to an extent too. Like we have some new guys, but we just felt pretty good going into the game stylistically. We would match up and play well, and we did. We didn't play a great first quarter, but then we bounced and kind of got the game at our tempo, and by half I felt pretty good that we were in good shape, and then we finished the game well. So it's a good way to start, and it's a conference game for us, which is a weird one because you don't often
start.
open on a Monday night in the league, but we did, and we're 1-0 in conference now, which is a good place to be. So we haven't won a league in Fremont in 20 years. Been a long time. So yeah.
Wow. So Bowling Green was a traditional opener for you when you were not
Yeah.
in the league,
Yep.
right? They've
Yep.
always been kind of that traditional opener.
Yeah, I played them in the opening, not my first year, but probably the next couple after
I know
that.
for sure the second year you
Yeah.
did. So
Yeah, so that game's always been an early game, and again, it was, early this year, but definitely a different feel. So we have them again, later in the year. There was actually a mix-up with the schedule where a couple of games were, and with everything changing in the tournament, going 7 divisions, we had 2 regular season games scheduled during sectional week. So we had to move them around. That's how that game ended up being a Monday.
yeah, Coach Hoover was talking about how they basically took the last week of the. Why? Talk to me about that. Why did they? What the heck?
There's just a lot. I think there are going to be a lot of frustrations with things going to 7 divisions. Not all in a bad way, but just that you can get really angry with the state because, like in volleyball this year, our regional was in Westerville. We played Dublin Scioto. They're going 5 minutes, but they're and we're going 2.5 hours. But I think the state's trying to do right by kids, and people can talk participation trophies and whatever, and it is what it is. But I'd rather have more opportunities than less. And so, 7 divisions, you got to find people that are willing to host. You've got different, sectional setups, district setups. It's just a lot. So, I think this was something where they kind of moved the date a little bit at the end of the year and some mix up somewhere. But again, I think there has to be some grace, for them because they're taking on over, double the amount of tournaments. Well,
Right.
not quite over double, but
Almost
about
double.
double the tournaments
40%.
they had in the past.
Let's do it.
Right.
Put it that way.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So it's a lot.
For sure. Officials, sites, the whole 9 yards.
Are we still doing home sectionals?
For
the most part.
for the people that have sectionals, yes. Actually, I'm not even positive on that. I think they're actually at a district site now. So, like, our district site will either be Lake or Central.
So you're going back to that whole thing?
Yeah, and then there's another district site that will host too. And in some ways good, in some ways bad. I mean, you can get into some of these where you could be pretty far apart.
Why we did? I forget. It wasn't Nick, but it was Brad and I did the Clyde sectional championship game,
Okay.
and it was at Clyde, the boys, and
Yeah.
it was fun, and they won, and
Sure.
it was, they hadn't won a sectional championship in a while. and
Right.
Get to cut the nets down at home.
Sure.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Who wants to travel for sectionals anyway?
Yeah, it's nice. I like I said, I'm going to give grace on everything this year because I think they have a lot to figure out.
No, I get it.
Yeah, so.
You think though they'd try to make it as easy as possible, and by home teams hosting sectionals,
Right.
that would make it a lot easier.
I guess and really for me, there's no argument because looking at the teams in our district, I mean, it's not crazy broad, but we could end up going to like Wapakoneta on a Tuesday night, which would
Which you don't want to do.
yeah, or they could come to us depending on who's the hosting. But
And that's what hour.
so I
15
think they're
hour.
trying to find some central locations where everybody would have a drive, maybe not a crazy. And I will say I miss a little bit of like the district semi, district final, regional semi, where you had 2 games back-to-back, same
Right.
site.
No, that I liked.
split
I'm
gym.
just talking sectional.
For
That's
sure.
the only thing.
Well, Division 1 2 don't even have a sectional anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, there is none. Like they
'Cause
just
there's
go
not
straight
enough
to
teams.
districts, right?
Okay.
They're all 64s.
So I'm assuming you're Division 2 now?
we're 3.
Oh, how did you get to 3?
Well,
Wow.
they took the top. The girls are the last team in Division 2 for Fremont.
Okay.
And then we're Division 3, and we're
But
actually
they went to the regional finals, right?
Yep.
In Division 2, not
in
Division
volleyball,
1
right?
in volleyball.
Yeah,
So.
it's like I said, it's just different. Like
yeah, I get it.
Anthony Wayne in that volleyball district, I don't think beat a winning team until the regionals. Like they got to the
Really?
district finals, beating the last place team in our league. It's just different. It's not bad. It's not any. It's more opportunities
It's
for
something
kids.
to get used to.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm shocked you dropped all the way to Division 3, but I'm
Yeah.
happy for you that you've dropped all the way to Division 3 because I know the number one goal every year for your program is to cut down a net.
Yeah.
Is that right?
We'd sure like to. It'll be a challenge, no matter where we go, because there are a lot of other teams dropping with us. So Division
Yeah,
3
yeah, that's
is
true.
Yeah. But it'll be, we got so far to get to that point, but we're really processing, just trying to get better, and we got a lot of stuff to fix off of the second game where Bowling Green's were building, Northview's not so much, and so they took advantage of some things that we were concerned with and gave us really a totally different look in that second game that we hadn't gotten in scrimmages. We had scrimmage Central, we had scrimmage Olentangy, some really good teams, but they zoned us, played slow, and didn't respond real well early on. So
the kids just trying to chuck it from the chief seats, or
just played. I mean, we want to play fast, but not like rushed. And I felt like we just got, we actually shot it pretty well in the second half, but just getting good shots, getting the ball in the paint, and then kicking out. And we'll live with shooting threes, like we're pretty good at it. But you got to get some paint touch in it. Just can't be all neutral passes and contested ones. So we learned a lot in that game, and we're trying to put that to practice this week.
We're live here at Frickers and Fremont. Our final coach is head coach John Cahill of the Ross boys. Don't forget our schedule this week on Eagle 99. Perrysburg girls at Ross Tuesday night, Friday night Genoa boys at Oak Harbor, and then over on the Wolf, Nick and I will be at Bellevue Thursday night for Clyde at Bellevue. And I was kind of impressed with Bellevue the other night. I didn't know what we'd see, but played pretty well in that win over Port Clinton that we broadcast Friday night.
I listened to part of that, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, we play Bellevue coming up, and, I can always get insight from you two. It's like a scouting report for free.
I will
listen
say
to
Cooper
radio.
Moyer was fantastic in
Yeah,
that
see,
game.
there you go.
So.
Put him on a scouting report when I get back.
Was he not our player of the game, Nick?
Yeah.
Joel Ray was our player of the game.
Yeah.
But Cooper played a really good game too, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Joel's
So-
a nice player. They have a good team. I mean, they're
Yeah,
solid.
they do. Yeah. I was talking to Coach Rich afterwards, and I think they'll be okay. They did lose quite a bit from
Yeah.
last year, but I think they got a nice team this year, and we know Clyde should be okay this
Yep.
year. They got pretty good shooters over
Yeah,
there.
they'll get up and down for sure.
Anthony Wayne Thursday, and then we'll kind of talk about the kids on the team, but what about Anthony Wayne?
They're very sound, fundamental, a lot like Northview. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a zone again. Big team size throughout, which is a lot what Northview had too. And we're not a very big team. So we beat them in triple overtime last year at home. It was a
I
great
was there.
game.
I broadcast that game.
Right. So it'll be a good challenge for us, and we get to go on the road, and we're looking at these 3 games. They're all stylistically different because Mansfield's going to press us and play up and down.
Are they still up and down? And
Oh,
all?
for sure.
Okay.
They beat Sandusky the other night. So
Did they really? Wow.
yeah, they have a really nice team. Sandusky's missing a kid right now. But
Well, seniors though, they've traditionally a good basketball.
for sure,
program.
for sure. It's been a storied rivalry, Ross and Senior, over the years. So it'll be 2 fun games, and then the starred games are the ones that we get back in conference, and we take them all seriously. But in the league, we'd like to make some waves this year. So
That's a conference game,
yeah,
Napoleon.
Napoleon
I
then
think
at
that's our
home.
next game. Yeah, it is here on Eagle 99, Napoleon at Ross.
Good deal.
Real quick, before I talk about the boys on your team right now, Lindy, of course, took the new position as the athletic director out at Terra State. How's that been going?
She's enjoying the work. She's done a lot of that over her life, like been involved with athletics, whether it would be at Kent State or running the volleyball actually all of Showtime. So it's been something that I think she's enjoyed, and it's a challenge. They're not structurally built to be an athletic school,
Right.
So, but they're getting there, and I think she's got some good people. So. It's frustrating at times, but she's enjoying it.
I was upset. She called me and asked me to do some PA work for when they were playing baseball over in Sandusky, and
Sure.
I was busy that day, so I couldn't help out. But I would have.
Very
obviously
cool.
would have helped her out. So, all right, let's talk about first of all who's back for you this year.
So we have back a group of seniors who played a fair amount last year. Dontrell Hurd, who I can't say enough good things about in terms of the way he's going as a human being. Great student right now, which is something we take a lot of pride in our program. Works hard in the weight room, has really done some good things. So we're happy with him tremendously. We've got Michael Stover back. He's our one real big guy, and Mike had a really good opener. Not maybe as good a second game, but again, a kid who works hard every day and has got a high IQ on the court and leads well.
6'8"? Is that real?
Sure. It says it on the paper. It is, and so he's taller than me, and which is a good thing because I was a point guard in high school. No, but he's tall. He's tall. He's a big guy. If you walked in here, you'd say it's a big guy. Makai Lee is back. He's a senior. He's our point guard. He's our captain. He's our leader. A great kid on and off the court, and I honestly have never named captains. I always feel like leaders lead. And so Manny Cale's never a captain. Like, we didn't have captains. I named him a captain. I felt like this group needed it, and
Really?
I felt like I wanted him in charge. I wanted to give him that title, and I've never done it. So
Hold on. In your entire coaching career, even when you were at Clyde, you never have had captain.
Nah, I think that's a Bob Knight thing. Like, Bob Knight maybe appointed captains later on, but he talked early on, but he talked about, like, leaders lead. And if I say, usually you take the easy way out and pick a senior. And what if your best leader is a junior or a
Isaiah
sophomore?
Thomas.
Yeah, and Quinn Buckner was a captain too, but I think
Okay.
as he went on, he got away from like appointing them, and they just, your leaders lead. And so it's never been a thing that I've done, but we're doing it this year, and I've actually got weekly captains too. So those
really?
Those could be a manager, those could be anybody. So,
Do they get to go out for the, at the?
we haven't had a manager do it yet, but
Okay.
I wouldn't be. In fact, I'm going to do it just because you said that. Like, that'd be cool.
So if I come to a Ross game, will you name me the captain and I can go out there?
Now you got to do something. You can't. I mean,
I'll
love
be your
you,
assistant coach.
but
I could sit like down on the very end and be like, motion offense.
It's about all I do anyway. So.
Are you still positionless?
To an extent, like anybody can bring it up unless we don't want them to bring it up. But
Okay.
like we're really trying to play with pace. I've got one other returnee, and
Okay.
that's DeKentre Harden. He can shoot the cover off of it. He's a kid who I just think has a ton of upside. And in his own little way, he leads. Whether it's a good or a bad way is up to him. But he has charisma, and he can use that in a positive way quite often. Occasionally he goes the other side on me, but he's a good kid. And again, I can say that about all of them. Like, they're really trying to do the right things on a pretty consistent basis. So I like this group. I'll go to battle for them. I'll go to battle with them. They're good kids. They're trying.
First year you haven't had a Cahill in the high school with you. Has it been kind of weird?
It has been because I was a middle school teacher before I came over here. So I've had one of my kids in the building with me for, over a decade. And so that's been weird. Having Abby off at school is weird. Cal's getting ready to go to law school is weird. Amanda's getting married, which is weird. Jake's getting ready for high school
Amanda's
next year.
getting married, huh?
Yeah, this August. So it's this whole year has aged me.
You look a little disheveled.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, but I don't disagree. Like, it's just been one of those
wait,
things.
Mike, you can be on camera. Yo, come on, Mike, you can get on camera. No, come on, it's this way.
There
There's
you
Mike,
go.
our manager here at Frickers. Hey, Mike,
Appreciate
thanks, buddy.
you, Mike.
He actually went to Mapleton, believe it or not. And, of
Nice.
course, people don't care, but I
Yeah.
went to Hillsdale.
Right, rivals.
We talked to each other for years before we realized
Oh,
that we
wow.
went to high school,
Rival
like
high schools.
10 miles from each other, and graduated the same. Like, played against each other.
Really?
Like, pretty crazy stuff.
That is
So,
crazy.
Anyway, all right, what are the hopes, dreams, and ambitions for the Fremont Ross Little Giants this year?
We have 4 standards. We just try to live by them. I don't put expectations on anything. Like, we'd like to win all of them. Like, I don't think there's a game on the schedule this year, and we play some really good teams where we're just going to say you win, we lose. Like, it's not what we're built like in Fremont. So we're going to compete every night. We're going to give our best effort every night. We're going to try to get better as the season goes on. And I think if we do that, we become a pretty dangerous little team. So we have our own set of limitations. Like, we're not big. And we're not going to be big. But we've got to play big. And this team I think they'll be judged a lot by what kind of teammates they are. And, we didn't play particularly well the other night, but even then I thought we played hard. So if we play hard and we play a little smarter, a little more physical, it'll be a fun team to watch. I think Fremont will be proud of them, and it'll be an enjoyable year.
And somebody told me Sean McCarthy was back, and nobody told me about it. So.
Yeah, we had alumni night, so I had a great time. Sean was back, Greg
Why didn't
Bender.
you tell me? I would have come.
I wish I would have. I
Talk
don't
Purdue
know.
punting,
Yeah.
you know, with Sean.
Yeah,
and-
we all went out to dinner one night.
Yeah.
It's fun just seeing the guys and being able to hang out and you know, a lot of there are a lot of alumni there I didn't go to school with, but the guys that I played with, Starwald, Patty Hetrick, Scott Weber, we all went out to dinner, just get telling stories and actually shared with the guys like, you know, we haven't played together since '86.
Yeah.
It's a few years ago.
a little bit.
But we can still go back, and the memories are the same. We're together. It hasn't changed, really. You know, I mean, our lives have all different. Sean lives in Arizona. Greg lives in North Carolina. We're all over. But we get back together. We're all still Little Giants, and we have fun sharing stories and talking and giving each other grief, and it's fun.
It is. You're always going to be a little giant.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my alma mater just made the state football championship for the first time in school history.
Let's go. Yeah.
Guess what the final score was?
74-0.
74-0.
Yeah, I followed.
We
it.
lost,
Yeah.
though,
But that doesn't matter. You were there, brother.
We were there.
Yeah.
See, in 20 years from now, it's not going to say we lost 74-0. It's going to say
State finalists.
runner-up.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's one thing, and I know we got to go through
No,
here,
it's
but,
fine.
Well, but just like I think, like when teams have success, everything that sticks.
Right.
Our teams were decent. We liked each other, so we still stay together. Like playing a team that's got bad culture, it just doesn't stick. You know, like you don't like each other. You don't really want to be back together.
You don't want to be at practice.
Yeah,
you don't
you've
wanna-
kind of lost your like hometown thing. You know,
Right.
so. I mean, if we make a good pass, the dude who caught the pass and makes the shot's got to point at the dude that made the pass. Old Dean Smith stuff. But, like, we're really trying to be good teammates. And, like I said, if we play at home, not for a while, but it'll be on the air against Napoleon.
Yep, 17th.
Yeah, but, I mean, our kids are going to play really hard. They're going to try to be good teammates. And, I think we learned a lot from this last game that hopefully we can transition going forward.
All right, John Cahill wrapping it up here at Frickers in Fremont, and that will do it for our show tonight. Don't forget Monday Night Football. Come watch the Bengals lose, as always, here against the Cowboys. I'm a Bengals fan. I could say that, John. It's okay.
I grew up a Bengals fan too, but
So-
Abby Cahill's got an Elite Eight match in the WNIT for
Oh.
volleyball night, so I'm on
We
my
got to
way
get
home.
to that. To
Yeah.
the stream? On that?
Yeah.
Okay.
ESPN Plus, I think.
All right.
I'll be home watching it after middle first set. So.
All right, John.
Thanks,
you, buddy. All right, we want to thank all of our coaches, Eric Hoover, Old Ford, Tony Egbert from Giftsburg, Aaron Foose of Lakota, and, of course, John Cahill from Fremont Ross. Thanks to Nick Roth running our video here tonight, Aiden Klein back at the studio. I'm Kyle. Thanks to John Kearns for loading me up with all kinds of stuff here tonight as well. And we'll be back on Monday night from Frickers in Fremont, our next basketball game. Perrysburg girls at Ross tomorrow night here on the Eagle. Thursday night, Clyde boys at Bellevue on 92.1 The Wolf. That'll do it from Frickers in Fremont for our high school basketball coaches show.